What's going on, everyone? Back here for episode 2 of Upstate Talks. I'm Reoz. I'm here with my partner, Dale. We're excited to bring you episode 2. We got a lot to talk about. Uh, a little bit on the first episode, we talked about bets. I think moving forward, we're just going to talk about news. We're going to talk about NBA playoffs, obviously, and just to kind of get into some hot topics just around the sports news. I think me and Dale are just gonna kind of free flow this, kind of give what we're thinking about everything. Got a couple stuff written down and just excited to talk for 30, 45 minutes, however long we want to really rip this for. And I really hope you guys enjoy. Obviously, check out the Patreon. We've been crushing picks over on NBA. We're going to have PGA starting next month. We're going to be really cranking out some more PGA and MLB. And obviously, check out the free Discord. We really want to incorporate into a really nice community here. So everything will be linked in the description below.
Yeah, it's been like 5 days since we kind of seen everybody, communicated with the channel. It really seems like, but I've been enjoying the playoffs. I'm still watching. I'm still playing my DFS. However, it's just been a busy time in the personal life. I got some things going on. If you never looked into much, I have two businesses. Well, if you want to consider the YouTube really a business, but then I got the car dealership. I got a used car dealership I opened last summer, which is, just kind of starting to take off this year. I'm moving into a new place this weekend, which has kind of been a hassle getting in there, getting situated. And yeah, it's been an exciting time. Really, summertime is nice up here in upstate New York. Reoz and I, big golfers. Reoz is a lot better than I am, but he works on a course too, and yeah, it just gets busy. It gets busy up here in the summer, and we like to enjoy the summers as much as we can too, because we only really get it for like 4 months up here. So, yeah, don't we didn't forget about you guys. We're still gonna crank out stuff, and like Ria said, over on the Patreon, we never miss a day, regardless if I've been working 14 hours. I still find time to get some stuff on the Patreon out, of course.
Yeah, and hopefully with that new place, we might incorporate a little setup over there, get me and Dell in the same room, have a couple mics set up, and really make this a nice little pod for everyone to either watch or listen to, whatever you guys want to do. But I mean, like we talked about NBA, let's just jump into the two games here. As we're recording this, Miami is playing Boston right now. That game seems a lot closer than the last couple of games, which is crazy considering that series is 2-2. And then we got Dallas against the Warriors. Dallas won with their backs against the wall. Of course, Luka just is playing phenomenal like always. Hurt or not hurt, I don't really know what's going on with that shoulder, but they live to play another game. But I want to know your takes on the series. I mean, what a wild two series.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in terms of like wildness, I wouldn't say that it's wild to necessarily watch. There's quite a bit of blowouts. I read an article that this has probably been I think it's for my opinion, since I've been watching the NBA, the most blowouts I've seen in the playoffs. But I saw a statistic that was saying this is one of the most highest rated and watched playoffs in the last couple of years, and it's kind of a shame to get new viewers and see as many blowouts as there is. And a lot of people like to blame it on the officiating, but if you're watching the games, I mean, some of there always get the people on NBA Twitter that says Mavs versus the refs or Heat versus the refs or whatever, but no, they're just these teams are getting off the slow starts and on the other team is just dominating. But other than that, when the games are close, they're close and they're fun to watch, man. So I guess this is a testament of how the Warriors have been so dominant. I love Steph, big Steph guy, big Clay guy, so I like to see them thrive. I know a lot of people hate me for that take. Hate Durant for it. Don't hate the Warriors. Hate Durant, man. If you're gonna, hate on those guys, they're a special group. I like to see them win. And over on the Eastern side of things, some low scoring games. This series actually, it doesn't. The score of the series being 2-2 doesn't dictate how the series has been. It's just been blowout and then blowout and then blowout. I mean, some crazy performances from Tatum and Butler. Don't get me wrong, but man, I mean, Butler going down, having two, under single, like having two single digit games back to back. Tatum had 10 points in one of the games. I mean, it's just been weird. But I'm really excited to get to the finals, whether it be, Miami, or Boston. And then obviously Golden State's going to go. It's probably like 98% chance, I'd imagine, at this point, for them to go. So, going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way. I mean, there is a way, but there's no. I don't really see Dallas coming back and
There's no
taking this in
way. There's no
seven.
way.
There's just no shot. Um, the Golden State looks like the team that was just winning all those championships even before they acquired KD. I mean, the ESPN had this stupid stat. It was uh, players that are still on the team when they won all their championships. It's like, yeah, of course, Clay's still there, Steph's still there, Looney's still there, Iguodala, Draymond. I mean, come on, they're gonna be there for the foreseen future. I mean, they're not going anywhere. And like you touched on with Boston and the Heat, I mean, two 20-point victories. We saw in pretty much every single game. I mean, it's just been insane that this series is 2-2. I'm convinced Oladipo is the worst good player in that series. He's
Yeah.
probably putting up the best stats on that Heat side, which is kind of crazy, but no matter what, he gets his playing time. But I don't know. I want to see that series go to 7, but I also don't want to continue to see blowouts leading up to Game 7 because it would be a real shame if every single game just gets flip flopped like it has been. And we even saw that in that Milwaukee series. Um, we saw no team won back to back. Even in Milwaukee won Game 6, and then Boston went and won Game 7. So I mean, it's just crazy to see. Um, I really couldn't tell you who I would even want to win in that Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, either team is going to be nice to play Golden State regardless. I think they're going to give them a really good test. And I don't even know. I would like to see at least the Western Conference go to 6. That would be nice to see, but I think tomorrow is when Luca gets sent home for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'd imagine he gets sent home. They're in, Chase Center tomorrow. It's gonna be electric. I guess to touch on the Warriors' dominance. I mean, actually, for a second, it's 37-42 at halftime of that Eastern Conference Finals. Should stay close. Hopefully, so if it's not a blowout. I mean, Miami put up like 4 points in the first. It was like 26-4 in that game to start off. It was a complete dud from the start on Monday. Either way, but to speak on the Warriors for a minute, just a true test of their dominance. I mean, 6 out of the last 8 finals. I mean, you get this series with Toronto. That's kind of like an outlier series. Durant goes down, Clay goes down. But yeah, like what I was curious on your thoughts on where you rank Curry if he wins another title.
Where I rank him as like the best to ever play, or I
Is
mean
he
he's
is
got
he
to be top
already
five
top 5 player to ever play if
if
he
he
wins
if he
another
wins
title?
another one. Yeah, it's gonna be
Or
tough to kind of disprove what he's done.
if not, I mean, he's had a lot of help. He has no Finals MVPs. Don't get me wrong. I think if Steph, I'm naturally biased towards Steph. He's 6'2", small guy, small school, great story, greatest shooter to ever live. My generation just grew up on Steph, changed the game. Like there's only so many players who've changed the game. You know what I'm saying? People like Mike, like and Curry just extended the range and shows what it be. I mean, when I was in fourth grade playing basketball, we weren't putting up 3 point jumpers. I mean, kids are coming out at third grade learning how to shoot 3 pointers, and this is all a testament to Curry and his dominance and what he's done. And I rank Curry if he wins another one, and if he gets the Finals MVP this year, and they do happen to go on a win, they're 5 games away from another Finals win. He's my top point guard of all time. And then a lot of people would argue Magic, but yeah, I mean Magic had Kareem, Worthy. I mean it's not to say that you know Magic isn't great, but that's my opinion. Curry takes it over him.
Yeah, I mean I'm not a big Curry guy. I've never been. I really I can't say I dislike Steph Curry, but you will really never catch me rooting for him. But I mean, you got to give props where props is due. I mean, he
But what
leads the
don't you like about
entire.
him? What don't you like about Curry?
I don't know. I just can't stand him. I don't know why. There's really nothing I could
Humble
really.
guy. He took out your Spurs multiple
Yeah, it
times.
is what it is. I mean, there's a couple people that I can't stand in the NBA,
Great
but
golfer. Great golfer. He would destroy you in golf.
well, that's probably why I don't like him. It's because
He would
it's
destroy
because
you.
he's playing all those low end golf tournaments and not really playing that well. But I mean, I mean, yes, he is a great golfer. I mean, he's an incredible shooter, and um, I don't know. I don't really root for Steph Curry, but he's definitely up there when his career comes to an end on being one of the best players. Not the best, but top five for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a lot that goes along with it. I mean, just the Warrior system, what Kerr and Myers, and everyone has built over there, um, just absolutely phenomenal. Just the ability to get players to buy in. Someone like even back then with like a Harrison Barnes, and when they had Barnes and Iguodala, and off the bench they had Bogut and just many pieces. Just how they used to say strength in numbers, and it was just strength in numbers, and they would go down the list. And the fact that he's just probably the most unselfish superstar of all time, just literally just commits to other players. He wants other people to play well and get confidence. And I couldn't imagine how that locker room is with him, just being such a just a leader. His body language and everything. So I personally like him, and I think Reoz, you might have a lot. You might have a long future with Curry, man. I mean, he might have a career in golf. When it's all said and done, maybe he gets 38, 39. He says, fuck it, I'll go play some golf.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I don't think so, but I think you did bring up a good point. Steve Kerr is definitely the sole reason why Curry is Curry right now. Just the where he puts him out there, and Steve Kerr was a big guy shooting threes. So when you get Steph and Clay and just the incredible talent to shoot threes, I mean, he puts them in just unbelievable in spots on the court, but. To move over to the MLB, I don't know if you saw this, but this is in our home state, New York. A New York player, Josh Donaldson, was making comments to Tim Anderson, the Chicago White Sox shortstop, calling him Jackie, referring to Jackie Robinson.
No, I haven't seen much of it.
Yeah,
Inform me of it, so inform
so
me.
that's like there was a big 3 game series, and Josh Donaldson, I don't really know. I mean, I know he was calling him Jackie. I don't know what the beef between them was, but Tim Anderson did not like it. I mean, the bench is cleared. It was a huge little brawl going down. I believe it was last Saturday night. So still talking about it. I believe Donaldson um, might have gotten suspended, but I mean, what a crazy time with just everything going on in the world for Josh Donaldson to make that comment. I mean, that just blew my mind when I saw that. I really couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really fond of the situation, but that's honestly bizarre. To come out and say some stuff like that. Realistically, with the state of the world, everything that's going on, even emotionally, if you're in a situation, I know sports are competitive, and you see people who come out and I'm not gonna say necessarily show their true colors. I want to say that's probably not the person he is. But I obviously don't know him personally. However, it's just you gotta control things like that. But even for him to come out and say that is absolutely disrespectful and uncalled for.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I mean, he tried to come back and say he was just joking and everything like that. But when you really look into it, I mean, joke or not, you really can't be joking like that. I know um, there was a time maybe you could joke like that, but at where the world is right now and just everything going on, I mean, I don't want to say play baseball. I love a good trash talk. That's not trash talking. That's just really poking at somebody. And the more bizarre thing about it is too. I mean, Jackie Robinson played for the Dodgers. Tim Anderson plays for the White Sox. Why are you calling him Jackie?
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't make any sense. But we'll move on from that. This is a topic I've been kind of waiting to hear what you think about this. Do you see Colin Kaepernick is trying out for the Los Angeles Raiders?
Yeah, I did see that. Uh, I'm I'm in the middle. It's kind of cool. He's getting an opportunity. I guess I'd say it seems like he's been working pretty hard. Um, I look at it as like, how are people gonna take it when the reality becomes the situation is that he is not good enough to become a starter, low end backup. You know what I'm saying? Are people gonna react in a happy way? When he's on the train, practice guy or something like that for the Raiders. Are they going to take that as Las Vegas slander, as like, oh, he should be here, or this is a testament because of what he's done in the past? Or is it going to be like, I'm happy for him. He worked hard. The media reacts completely different to situations like this. Everyone has their own view on Colin Kaepernick. Um, Never really minded him as a player. I think he kind of got overhyped in some points in time. I mean, he did make an incredible run with the 49ers at one point. Uh, but after that, I mean, looking at the numbers, he wasn't spectacular. At the end of the day, he was serviceable. What he did at the time, respect for him standing up, for what he wants. That's cool for him. I always respect people for like, things like that. But if he gets a shot, kudos to him. I actually think he should get a shot because he's just been in the spotlight for so long. I can't see him as like a USFL guy or like an XFL guy. But in terms of ratings, if he doesn't make the NFL, I mean, damn, maybe those two leagues should take a look.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a weird team for him to work out
I
for.
wasn't
I mean,
surprised though. I wasn't
they
surprised.
have Derek Carr. They just traded for Jared Stidham, backup for the Patriots, and they have Nick Mullins. I mean, so they have three quarterbacks. I do believe he's better than Stidham. He's better than
Stidham was
Nick.
a stud in high school. Stidham was a stud. I watched like a documentary on Stidham.
Did
Absolute
you see
stud.
him? Did you see him when he got his runs in though? He did not. Actually, he did have a couple good series, but I mean, at one point, yes, Colin Kaepernick was definitely better than majority of the starting quarterbacks when all of the Kaepernick news was going out with the kneeling and everything like that. But I think at this point, there's a lot of good quarterbacks in this league right now, and there's only better quarterbacks in this draft coming up. I'm not going to say in the draft that just took place that draft class was awful for quarterbacks. I think this is probably the best time for him to try to sneak in, but really bad team to start off with. I'm almost thinking, what are the Raiders doing? They traded for a backup. They already have three decent um, backup quarterbacks. They have Derek Carr. They've locked Derek Carr into all this money. They went out and traded for Devontae Adams. Why would they bring in Colin Kaepernick to kind of stir up some trouble in the quarterback? I mean, Derek Carr doesn't really need more than he's already got going on in his head, playing in one of the, I personally, as a Denver fan,
The
I will
toughest
say,
division.
the hardest division in NFL.
Absolutely.
Um, Regardless of the Chiefs losing a bunch of guys, my Broncos are going to look phenomenal this year with our new quarterback and all these new players they acquired.
And
But
let's not to
I
talk about the NFL bless them with that schedule. First 8 game September October bless. Like they wanted the
yeah
Broncos to play good. Like they planned it. Like, oh, this is Peyton's reunion. Like we want the Broncos to play good. So carry on with your Broncos because they got a blessing of a schedule. So carry on.
yeah, we're due for one. But even the Chargers now look phenomenal. But I think this is going to be a stepping stone for Colin Kaepernick. He's gonna probably work out. He'll probably have a really good workout, to be honest with you, and we'll see. I mean, um, I don't even know what team. Just kind of ruffling through all the teams in my head. I mean, you would think teams that are bad like Jacksonville, they have Trevor Lawrence. You got to continue to give him some time. He's gonna be good. Chicago with Justin Fields, you really don't want to give up on a guy like that. But I don't even know. I really couldn't tell you a team that would truly be like much better with Colin Kaepernick on their team being a starting quarterback.
I look at it and it's like, oh, Vegas, still a new market, growing. I look at it, a little bit of publicity. I don't see the benefit, like you said, of bringing him in. A dream situation for Kaepernick fans. I mean, I guess Carolina, Seattle, yeah, maybe he would actually get a shot. You never know. He ends up in Carolina. What's his Ritter? Doesn't end up being anything. Is that who they drafted? I believe it was Ritter. I think they're still gonna run out there with Darnold, but yeah, say those two guys are just not it. Maybe when someone goes down for an injury, he plays a game or two and plays well. That'd be the dream scenario, or people realize how bad Drew Lock is, or everyone knows, but Seattle maybe wakes up and Pete Carroll's like, yes, we can't go out there with Drew Lock. There is a scenario, but it's not in Vegas.
No, definitely not in Vegas. I didn't even think about Seattle. I'm also a big Drew Lock guy, but I definitely think Colin Kaepernick is better than Drew Lock for sure. Um,
Arm talent, no, arm talent, but maybe mentality, and serviceable to go out there for a rebuilding team.
yeah, without a doubt, but it is exciting to see Colin Kaepernick back in the news, kind of see what he's been up to. I would love to see him make a team, maybe get some preseason run, um, see what he can do. I mean, it is what it is. I know he tried a couple of those leagues, like the FXL and everything like that. They were paying guys like $100,000. He wanted like $12 million, so none of that stuff would ever come to fruition. But it is what it is. He's back in the news. Let's move on here. NBA playoffs we talked about, the MLB news, which is unbelievable. What did you think about the ending of the PGA Championship? Um, kind of crazy to see. I mean, we talked a little bit about it. I believe on the last episode, I did say I wanted
JT,
JT.
we talked about JT value.
Yeah, kind of crazy. He was not really in contention, but he was in contention. It seemed like um, Will Zalatoris was definitely one of the guys to beat. There was a stat: everybody who won on Southern Hills led after the first 36 days, and that was Will Zalatoris. We had a couple other guys move up, but the leader, I can't say his last name. I believe his first name is Mike. Doubles the last hole and sends JT and Zalatoris to a playoff hole. But the one thing that I really like about the PGA Championship is they do the three-hole playoff. I think that is something that needs to be done. The sudden death playoffs are awful. I mean, it does get a lot of people to watch. It is a great spectacle, but wow, knowing you got three holes, they got to beat you in three holes is just incredible.
It's a lot more of a cushion. I mean, I'd love to see, and it depends how it plays out. It'd be nice if it was went par three, par four, par five. Just a whole variety of shots you're able to take there, opportunities for each player to go into a playoff hole like that. Really Will's tournament to lose at one point, and JT comes back like you said. You talked about it on the pod. Unfortunate to see what happened with Tiger. Either way, like you said on the Patreon, man. I mean, you had a really solid outing over there, and won a lot of cash on the
Yeah, I
PGA
was
Championship.
I was pretty locked in. I got to be honest with you. I didn't really do much other than watch the PGA Championship Thursday through Saturday. I was pretty locked in, but it was a phenomenal tournament. It really goes to show um, what a good tournament these courses and the PGA. I know all the news with the Saudi Arabia League and everything like that. Nothing in my eyes will beat the PGA Tour, regardless what people think. They're not the prize money's not big enough and all this. I mean, just a ton of opportunity for a bunch of guys. And if you have one week that you play well at and you finish top 20, top 10, I mean, you're walking away with a good chunk of change where I know that Saudi Arabia League or whatever buy or something like that, they're only having 8 events with like crazy prize money, and it is what it is. I don't really foresee any big names leaving. I don't know if you caught the clip of Sergio Garcia um, giving it to one of the rule officials when he couldn't find his ball. The guy was telling him, "Your 5 or 10 minutes is up. You gotta either go back to your last shot or whatever." And he's sitting there going, "I can't wait to effing leave this league. You guys are awful and all this." I mean, I thought it was hysterical. But Sergio Garcia is a hothead as it is. But what a really good tournament, and in a couple of weeks we'll be talking about the U.S. Open. So I'm excited. And next PGA is Oak Hill in Rochester. So that'll be nice. Maybe we'll head up there.
Yeah, live from Oak Hill, right?
Yeah, that
Go up
would be
there.
nice too.
Yeah. I'm sure there's some. I mean, there's real nice courses out that way. Uh, Either way, man. Been in a really good couple weeks of sports, man. We've been pretty blessed. Usually, this is where it starts to die down a little bit. We're hoping that the news can kind of keep us afloat here, things like that. So, hopefully not bad news. Hopefully we can, continue to be excited, leading up into the NFL season. Because I'd say, Real, that's probably our bread and butter.
Yeah, I love NFL season. I think everybody loves NFL season. And the tough thing about the time that we're in right now is NBA is coming to an end. MLB is picking back up in a big way. We got MLB, we have golf. We're gonna cover them for sure. Um,
UFC.
UFC, like always, is always fun to watch. We're gonna try to incorporate a couple more fight nights in there, but we definitely want to do this upstate talks and have some questions from you guys. We want to really just dive into the community that me and Dell built in the last year or so, beginning of NFL, and we're very grateful to have everybody here watching it, subscribing, liking, commenting. I mean, it's really phenomenal. We really love doing this. We love talking sports. I mean, if we weren't videoing this right now, we'd probably be on the phone right now talking about all this stuff. So we're glad we can bring you guys along into our minds, into our world, and highly recommend. I mean, drop in the comment down. Let us know what we could do better. Ask us some questions. We'll shout you out on the video with your question, and we'll answer it for sure. I mean, Q&As are awesome. We don't want to make it all Q&As. We got news to talk about, sports to talk about, but if you guys got some questions, let us know.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get some like cool graphics up. Like I said, when I get settled in to the new crib, you can come over and we'll kind of get some stuff live. We want to bring some people on, whether they be in the community. Maybe one day maybe we can kind of pull a big name. Maybe some point as the channel continues to grow, someone will want to come on the pod. Someone that's pretty well known in the community. We're kind of open to all. We don't really have enemies. I'd say it's all sports, it's all fun. We're not really sure what kind of people think about us, but we're very open guys. And yeah, if
Yeah,
you ever want us everyone wants to come on, yeah, we're chill with it.
let us know down below who would you want for us to have on.
That's what we want
I
to
think
know. One question, yeah. If you want to know someone, let us know. Big or small, you know what I'm saying? In the Prize Picks community, DFS world, we're DraftKings players, we're frequent sportsbook players, stuff like that. Anyone who's into that stuff, um, just kind of pick their brain and stuff. Maybe we'll kind of get into how they do their content, how they make their picks, stuff like that. If you're interested.
yeah, without a doubt. And we've been rambling on here for almost 30 minutes. We appreciate everyone watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.